he told me he was coming, so he may show up at the end, but we have a quorum. So,
That's
right?
no problem.
Okay.
Kim's not coming.
I'd like to call the meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge to the flag. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. The first thing on our agenda is a couple of public hearings, the first of which is a special exception application for Sunset Theater. I need a motion to open
So moved.
and a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So this public hearing, Sunset Theater, the newly renovated Sunset Theater on Sixth Corner has put in a application for chairs and tables and music, and this is their first year of operation with that. So that being said, they need to have a special exception granted. We did discuss this at the previous work session, and the board had their questions answered. And this public hearing is for the opportunity for the public to express themselves regarding up to 28 chairs, some tables in a patio area outside of Sunset Theater, and also music on occasion. And it would be live music with moderate, if any, amplification. So does anyone wish to speak on the special exception for chairs, music at Sunset Theater? Okay. Appears that no one wishes to speak, so with that in mind, I need a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second. Second. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next item on the agenda is another public hearing. This is to do with the alarm code. I need a motion to open the public hearing.
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The fire department has asked us for quite some time now, and we discovered within our code that we do have some allowances for false alarms for the fire department and complete allowances or a complete coverage for false alarms for the police. This is a modification, so basically what will be happening is that the fire department will report every 6 months false alarms to the village hall. The village hall will then bill for those false alarms, and then after receiving the funds, refund 50% of those false alarm fees to the fire department. The idea being that this will reduce the number of false alarms that are being had by the fire department. At last discussion, informally, out of about 685 alarms throughout the year, around 80 to 85% of them were false. So hopefully this will curtail some of that. Anyone from the public wish to speak on the false alarm fees for fire department? Okay, it appears no one wishes to speak, so I need a motion to close.
Motion to close.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, with that being done, we'll move on to our resolutions. Mr. Teeman, if you would start.
Yes. Resolved that the minutes of the Board of Trustees meeting of May 21st, 2025 are hereby accepted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolved that the building inspectors, justice court, police, and treasurers' May 2025 reports are hereby accepted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolved that the warrant for May 2025 in the amount of $427,204.75 for the general fund and $23,330.93 from the capital fund are hereby approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolved that Christina Bissett Broadwater Exercise is authorized to use the Village Green for a small group fitness program on Friday, July 25th, 2025 from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Whereas the village has received an application to renew the outdoor tables and chairs for 2025, and whereas after considering information supplied by the Suffolk County Department of Health Services, the Suffolk County Sewer Agency, and the village's building administrator, the Board of Trustees determines special exception permits should be issued for outdoor seating and tables where there were incidents or reports filed with the police department or changes concerning said uses. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby authorizes the placement and use of outdoor seating and tables as shown on submitted plans for Picasso Art Studio, subject to all revised conditions and plans on file.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolved that the West Hampton Beach Elementary School is hereby authorized to hold a special event, Bike to the Beach, for the fifth graders on Tuesday, June 17, 2025, from 9:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., and a rain date on Wednesday, June 18th, 2025, as per route approved by the police department.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I need to pass this one on and recuse myself. I actually don't know what it is, but I see the name
Oh,
and I have a
yes, good
conflict.
idea. Okay, tell you what.
I'm not sure what the application is, but
Okay,
Can't-
it's for, because it's a new business and it's for the outdoor seating,
oh, okay.
okay?
Yeah,
So,
I'll read it.
Chris?
Yep, resolved that the village clerk treasurer is hereby directed to publish and post a notice of public hearing to be held on Monday, July 7th, 2025, at 5 p.m. at the Village Hall for special exception application filed by Donahue's East. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
I abstain.
okay.
Recuse,
Resolved that,
whatever.
Yeah,
resolved that
well,
the Board of
either one.
Trustees
Go ahead.
authorize the purchase of a mobile LED light tower for DPW in the amount of $12,591.50 to be paid out of account Apple 5110.2 equipment.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees authorizes the purchase of a Polaris stretcher for the beach in the amount of $3,855 to be paid out of a 5110.2 equipment.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Resolved that the Board of Trustees authorizes NYSID partnering with Siri Systems to scan and archive the building department's large format roll plans in the amount of $46,657 to be paid out of A36204 contractual building and zoning.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolved that Casey Johnson, Louis K. Varano, Adrian Carvana, and Olivia Carvana are hereby appointed to seasonal beach attendants effective May 15th, 2025, to be compensated at a rate of $15 per hour, GL account code Apple 7310.103, beach attendants, and Sophia Lewis Congilio and Carly Mitchell Congilio are hereby appointed as seasonal lifeguards to be compensated at a rate of $18 per hour, and from the GL account code Apple 7310.101 lifeguards, all with an increase of $1 per hour effective June 1st, 2025. Promoted Riken Kunter to Lieutenant of Lifeguards and compensated to $22.50 per hour, and Sarah Tedesco as a fill-in as Assistant Beach Manager at $16.75 per hour, and Quinn Pagili as fill-in Assistant Beach Manager at $17.50 per hour effective June 1st, 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby authorizes the following year-end budget transfers. From GL account code A1990 contingent items to GL account code A3120.100 police personal. Is that supposed to be personal or personnel?
Personnel,
Okay.
should be an E.
She said it's personal.
Oh,
Yeah, just wanted to make sure. In the amount of $178,696 from GL account code A1990 contingent items to GL account code A3620.101 building and zoning personal services in the amount of $18,896 from GL account code A1990 contingent items to GL account code A5110.100, Public Works Personal Services in the amount of $39,214 from GL account code A9010.81, NYSPF Retirement System to GL account code A9030.8, Social Security in the amount of $33,000. From GL account code A9070.8, Dental Vision, $29,000. A9070.81, Dental Vision AME, $16,000. A1420.401, Litigation, $70,000. A1420.401-1, Small Claims, $50,000. A9060.8, Medical, $41,000. A9045.8, Workers' Comp, $28,000. A1110.4, Contractual, $16,000. A1325.101, Clerk Part-Time, $7,500. The GL account code A9089.8, Compensated Absences.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Whereas Ias, Levidian, Sefa, Yilma, and Faharitin Ozadamir have applied for a vehicle peddling permit to sell ice cream throughout the village pursuant to 128-3 of the Village Code, and whereas the Police Department has reviewed and investigated applicants and found no criminal history pursuant to 128-4, and all requested documentation has been supplied, now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby authorizes a vehicle peddling permit to Yas Levadin, Sefa Yilma, Faritin Ozimir, effective May 20th, 2025, and expiring December 31st, 2025, as all other conditions in Chapter 128-10 and 128-11 of the Village Code have been met.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby accept the retirement of Janet Jurgowitz effective June 15, 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I would like to thank Janet for the last 10 years of her dedication to the village at this time.
Same.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Resolved that Justin Prince is hereby appointed as a seasonal laborer at a rate of $20.50 in the Department of Public Works. That's $20.50 per hour. Department of Public Works to work as assigned by the Public Works Superintendent effective May 1st, 2025, to be funded from GL account A5110.103, seasonal part-time with an increase of $1 per hour effective June 1st, 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby authorize the transfer of $100,000 to Police Equipment Reserve and $30,000 to DPW Equipment Reserve to be funded from unexpended appropriations.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Whereas Inga Debser, as an applicant of Sunset Theater, has applied for a special accept permit for a maximum total of 28 chairs and 8 tables per Village Code, Chapter 196-1B, 12, location at 2 Brook Road, West Hampton Beach, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 905-008-03-024, and outdoor music per Village Code, Chapter 196-2. Whereas the applicant submitted a sketch plan and the location and photographs of the design and proposed tables and seating. Whereas the public hearing was held before the Board of Trustees on June 5th, 2025, pursuant to Section 196-3D of the Village Code. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the Board of Trustees hereby authorize the placement of chairs and tables and benches as shown on the submitted plan of the outdoor music, subject to all conditions and limitations subject to the Village Code, Chapter 196-1-2 point.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Whereas the Board of Trustees has advertised a local law amending Chapter 51 of the Village Code entitled Alarms and Alarm Systems, and whereas a public hearing was held on June 5th, 2025 at 5 p.m. at 165 Mill Road, West Hampton Beach, And whereas all persons present at the meeting have had an opportunity to speak on behalf of or in opposition of the proposed local law or any part thereof, and now therefore be it resolved that a determination is hereby made by this board that the proposed amendment of Chapter 51, Alarms and Alarm Systems, to the Village Code will not have a significant adverse effect on the environment, and a negative declaration pursuant to SECR is hereby issued, and be it further resolved that after due deliberation, the Board of Trustees of the Village of West Hampton Beach is hereby adopting said local law as local law number 5 of 2025, as advertised and attached, effective immediately, and be it further resolved that the village clerk is directed to enter said local law into the records of the village and give due notice of the adoption of said local law to the Secretary of State.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Whereas on November 7th, 2024, the Board of Trustees of the Village of West Hampton Beach adopted local law number 1 of 2025, which allows for the creation and administration of affordable housing units within the Village of West Hampton Beach. And whereas in accordance with 40-5B1, the Board of Trustees shall set by resolution the maximum monthly rental or initial maximum sales price for an affordable housing dwelling unit and the maximum household income for eligibility for occupancy of said units. Whereas the trustees have reviewed the attached document titled Nassau, Suffolk County, HUD Family Home Income Guidelines and Limits effective 2025-26, and whereas the trustees find the attached document sets forth the appropriate maximum monthly rental or initial maximum sales price for the affordable housing dwelling unit and maximum household income for eligibility for occupancy of said units in accordance with the village's affordable housing program set forth in Chapter 40 of the Village Code. And now therefore be it resolved that the Village Board of Trustees hereby adopts income and rental sale price limits as set forth in the attached document titled Nassau/Suffolk County HUD Family Income Guidelines and Limits, effective 2025 to 2026, as required pursuant to 40-5B1.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Whereas the number of applications to the village for documentation under New York State Freedom of Information Law FOIL has increased drastically, and the issue of present by these applications are increasingly complex, and the village is relying on its attorneys to research these issues and give village advice. Therefore, now be it resolved that beginning of June 1st, 2025, the village attorney, EHADP, are authorized to bill hourly for service related to FOILs as a special service in accordance with the 2014 Retainer Agreement.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby amend the May 1st, 2025 resolution to read Sean Johnson, $32.50 per hour, Mike Poland, $25.50 per hour, and Tom Betjeman, $21.50 per hour, with $1.50 per hour increase effective June 1st, 2025.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. At this point, I would like to entertain that we have a walk-on resolution regarding Mr. Teeman. I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And Mr. Teeman, here's your initial copy of some of this, but there you go. And this one as well. Here we go. Chris?
Read this.
Yes, please.
On behalf of our community, I would like to extend our deepest gratitude for the 10 years of dedicated service as a village trustee. Your kind intentions, steady leadership, and consistently positive attitude have left a lasting mark on our village. Throughout the last decade, your commitment to the well-being of our residents and your thoughtful approach to every decision you have made in our community stronger, more connected, and more vibrant. Your leadership has been a shining example of what it means to serve with integrity and compassion. Thank you for all that you have done and continue to do for the village. Your contributions will be remembered with respect and appreciation for many years to come.
Second.
And Mr. Rubio?
Okay, I'll go. Whereas Brian Teeman is hereby honored this evening for his dedication and service to the village of West Hampton Beach as village trustee for the past 10 years. Whereas Brian, during his tenure served as an important liaison and helped facilitate projects such as not but limited to Glover's Park at the time of Maria Z. Moore Park, Military Appreciation Park at Ham Anden Memorial at the Village Marina, Main Street renovation and re-engineering at adding improvement traffic control, stormwater systems, additional parking and underground utilities, Phase 1 of the sewer convenience system for the B1 and multifamily units on Main Street and south towards Montebard Bay and Canal. Upgrades to the Gabreski sewer plant in Phase 1, conveyance systems, Ria Del Ben playground renovation, and Governor John D. Adams Dix windmill relocation and renovation.
Now therefore, I, Ralph Urban, Mayor of the Village of West Hampton Beach, along with all the Board of Trustees and a grateful community, sincerely thank Brian for his service, dated June 5th, 2023.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Brian.
Brian.
Congratulations.
Okay, that concludes all of our resolutions, so that brings us to the public comment section of the meeting. Anyone wish to speak? Your fans.
Good evening. I'm Kara Back. By now you know who I am, and I'm here to speak on the industrial commercial solar project, including a BESS that the trustees signed a 35-year lease for. So I want to just tell you a little story. 6 years ago, my mom passed away from a very rare form of cancer. How she got that cancer, we don't know. But I watched her for several years undergo chemotherapy, radiation that weakened her bones so badly that it broke her back. We fused her back together, and she continued to undergo treatment. Towards the end, she was getting her lungs drained with a needle that was about 3 to 4 inches long on a daily basis. And I would be in the next room when the nurse would come in and do that for her and hear her sing in pain as the needle was draining the fluid from her lungs. So I'm a little sensitive to what could go up in within 100 feet behind my house, and I think you can understand that. This is not a case of Kara just doesn't want this in her backyard. This is a real concern. I have 2 young children that I'm raising, and I am fearful about what a commercial industrial solar farm within 100 feet of my home could do to the health and safety of my children. Now, you might say there's no proof that, this kind of facility could cause cancer. But I want you to know, when I bought that house, I did my research. I knew there was vacant property behind my house. And I said, well, what can that property be used for? That property is zoned, as you know, in a recreational tourist zone. Never in my wildest dreams would I ever thought that a commercial industrial facility of this kind could go on that property. So I'm asking you, please, if this is something that you would not want within 100 feet of your home, in the future, any decision that you make, please consider these kind of things. This is not something I would think that you would want behind your home because of the fear of this kind of thing. Thank you.
Anyone else wish to speak?
Hi, I'm Layla Massey. I live at 3 Jennifer's Path. After Kara spoke, I just have to say something because I feel very much the same way. And when this was brought up to the trustees in the beginning, maybe it sounded like a good idea for various reasons, and I understand that. But no consideration was made for the people that live there. Not one person was talked to, not one person was advised of this, not one person was asked how they feel about it. That's so unfair for a town like this. I moved here when I was 10 years old because my father was in the Air Force. I grew up here, never in a million years. But I think that my town could betray me like this and not think of the consequences it might be to a residential area. My mother and father gave a lot to this town too. And even though I left for many years, I came back to raise my son here. And I don't want the last years of my life to be full of construction, noise, possible toxicity, God knows what, especially if there's batteries there. And it's just extremely unfair because it was zoned and deeded for recreational purposes, which we were looking forward to. And that's the reason why I picked that lot in the first place when I was given a choice. Anyway, please have a heart. Consider what this means to the people that live there and how you would like it and how would it affect your life and your family. Thank you.
Anyone else wish to speak? Okay. That being said, I think that concludes our meeting for this evening. We have no executive session. We do have a minor recreational session that we're going to have across the street. So that being said, the meeting is adjourned. Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Thank you.